One, two, three, the lawn feed.
Welcome to another episode of the Lawn Feed Podcast. I'm Chris, your host from Opit's Mowtime, and alongside me is Andrew from the Dad Bod Lawn and Vince from Rooted Lawn Co. What's up, boys?
Hey,
Howdy.
Christopher.
Thank you for tuning into another great episode. Today's cool because, like, literally cool. It's starting to cool off, which means it's starting to talk. We're in gears to start talking about Halloween and Halloween domination and preparing for winter. Unfortunately, it's kind of like
It's coming.
It is coming, and like we've got our first frost coming. Grass is starting to slow down a little bit.
It's like some real Game of Thrones
all that
stuff.
Yeah, winter is coming. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. So, but before winter does come, and that could go a whole different. Never mind, we won't go there.
Let's
Andrew,
do a sponsor read, huh? Let's thank our friends over at Twin Cities Seed for powering this episode and season of the Lawn Feed Podcast. Celebrating their 30th anniversary, Twin Cities Seed offers elite quality and custom blends of grass seed to homeowners, turf professionals, and more. Home of the new Resilience 2, Blue Resilience, and Fielder's Choice blends, shipping to all 50 states. Check them out at twincitiesseed.com, twincitiesseed.ca for all the Canadians, and be sure to check out the banner on their website for current specials, offers, along with the free shipping code for your next seeding project, and be sure to use code LawnFeed10 for 10% off your entire order. And before we get into this whole Hocus Pocus episode, we should probably do some Dad's W's and L's. What do you say?
We should probably hit that off, huh?
Yeah.
A lawn feed tradition where we tap into who we are at heart. Dads! This is Dad's Wins and Losses, where we tap into our inner dad bod father figures and highlight some of the recent wins we've experienced as parents, and of course, vent about the embarrassing losses we take each and every day as dads.
I love you, Daddy.
Huh? Do you guys watch
Aw.
Hocus Pocus? Like, are you guys big Halloween people?
No.
I wouldn't say we're big Halloween people, but my kids love Hocus Pocus. And we just finished our Halloween camping weekend. They always do it last weekend of September just because it gets too cold and dicey sometimes in October. And so I always do the projector screen, and my kids always want Hocus Pocus. So I finally bought it on Blu-ray because the campgrounds are shaky cell phone service. You can't count on streaming stuff. So we have it on Blu-ray now. Yeah. We watched that last weekend at the campground. It's in the original Hocus Pocus. There's like a Hocus Pocus 2, which is yeah. Kids like the original.
My wife is like obsessed with Hocus Pocus,
It's pretty good.
and like I just don't get it. Like Halloween, so like that's my loss. Is like Halloween's coming up. I hate Halloween. It's the worst. Like I can't stand. It's like all of the other holidays are up here, and then a 35 foot pile of shit, and then it's Halloween for me. I don't know how you guys rank your holidays, but like that's it for me. And I don't know why. I never like had a traumatic experience or anything, but I just don't like it.
Well, that's all right.
It's just weird.
We don't celebrate it, and it's like I never understood the decorations. Like people are putting fake spider webs and like all these like death things, and it's like any other day of the month, whatever. You are wiping your spider webs off your house. You're making sure everything's clean, but now you're intentionally putting spiders and spider webs. It makes no sense, and it's just disgusting. So
you know where I draw the
do
line? Like my kids asked me just yesterday. They're like, "Dad, are you gonna put the blow ups on the lawn?" Because like when it comes to this Halloween camping thing we do, we buy decorations and you decorate your campsite. And so we have some blow up decorations, like ghosts and like pumpkins and stuff. Yeah, like you would for Christmas. And so my kids asked me this week, they're like, "Daddy, you gonna put the blow up Halloween decorations up?" I'm like, "Nope, grass is still growing. Daddy's still mowing. It ain't going in the lawn."
Yeah, you got to show that thing off.
That's right.
Yeah, well, and of course, there's always one house that just goes way too overboard.
Yeah.
Way
You
too
pay
overboard.
$200 a
And
month
I
for a
happen to
giant
live
storage
across-
unit to keep everything in. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, but there is one good thing about Halloween, and that is candy corn. I don't know what side of the fence you guys are on that argument. But
Okay.
Candy corn is the best candy of all time.
I can't get on that side of the fence, but I like it. It's not the best.
So do you eat them like one color at a time, or do you eat all at once?
One handful
my
at a
son
time.
does. Yeah, I could probably crush an entire bag of candy corn in one sitting.
That's like your game of Candy
Like-
Crush. Is candy corn, just
Yeah.
popping them.
Crazy. No, anywho. And okay. Back to Dad's wins and losses.
Was that a win
But,
or a loss? What was?
yeah. No, that my loss was it's Halloween, and like I'm just thoroughly not looking forward to it, and I
Okay.
like have to fake it through Halloween. Anywho,
Okay.
my win is soccer season just wrapped up. My oldest is on a soccer team. His first year doing like his like competitive thing, like traveling soccer, whatever, and like this is completely meaningless. And from what I've seen, like it actually doesn't mean all too much. It's kind of like a fan favorite vote type thing from like the players get to vote on this. All of the like at the end of each practice, they get to like vote on who gets captain or whatever. And it's just like, okay, how many points does each player get, and that's who gets to wear the captain's band. They're like it's U9, so like whatever. But then it's the last practice, and this was like the coach's one, and like. He ended up getting a captain's band, and he's like not even close to the best player on the team. Not even close. Like probably shouldn't even be on this team type of thing. But he has like he has exhibited good listening skills. He's always trying hard. He's always doing those things, and like got that feedback from the coach too. Like afterwards, which is super cool. Like as a parent, it's just like he's leading the whole age group kind of like in that whole thing. That felt really good. Cause like I try to be as distant as possible and just let him be a kid at soccer and, not overtake it. Cause I did that sport or, do whatever, be that parent. Right. But just kind of be distant and let him go do his thing. And it's just cool. That part's really cool. So that's my win. That's my emotional win. Cause
I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I don't know what I'm like. I don't know how to be a sports parent. It's my first time doing it.
Right,
it's
it's
like,
tough. I don't know how involved you want to be. You want to be the person coach from the sideline? Probably not. But the cool thing about like,
right.
As you get older, being a captain, it holds some weight, and doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player, but you're a leader. In the locker room, on the field, in the classroom, all that stuff. Right. When you're a 9-year-old kid, it just means you're doing what you should be doing. Like you're leading by example, right? And you're listening, you're doing what the coach is asking, you're trying, you're being a good teammate, you're cheering on your team. So that's cool. That says a lot about him, not necessarily as a soccer player, but as a person. So
yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, it's sweet. I don't know. He loves structure and all. Like it's right up his alley. It's just like it's good to know that he's doing that, and we're not watching, which was always a good thing. At home is another story, but I guess that's a safe place, right?
come to home, coach.
But yeah. But we kind of teased the Halloween stuff, so we got a lot of Halloween. Like it's Halloween, it's end of the season. It's like it's kind of our last hurrah. A lot of people. I've never done this because we've never been this warm this late in the season. Is like we actually get to keep mowing through Halloween and actually get to show off our lawns in kind of peak form and all of that stuff. But we're also winding down the season, right? And I think a lot of people are talking about that. But what are some things that you guys are doing, or what are some of the things that we should be thinking about going into the end of the year, after we've aerated, after we've overseeded, after we've done all of those things? Like, what is the end of the year for you guys, and what should we be considering?
Well,
Not all at once.
For being honest,
Go ahead, Andrew.
I haven't been doing much. Like I did my overseed, it's been mowing, laying some nice stripes. It's looking good. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I should probably hit it with some fertilizer. It's getting pretty chilly. It's October. We're starting to check out almost. So I guess nitrogen is the first on the list, right? It's a growing season. You want to give it what it wants. And so part of this Halloween domination kind of thing is getting a nice dark green lawn. And nitrogen is, I guess, number one of two things that we're going to talk about that kind of gets you that dark green lawn. I want to get your guys' opinion on these nitrogen blitzes. Everybody's talking.
I was just about to sarcastically say that.
I know where it started, and it started probably a couple of years back. And since I've joined all these Facebook groups and yada yada yada, I see so many people talking about I'm doing a nitrogen blitz and doing nitrogen blitz, nitrogen whatever. There's a couple different ways of saying it, and I just don't know if some people know what that means and how to do it properly. if they're just dumping a whole bunch of nitrogen. So I don't know. I want your guys' opinion. What do you do for nitrogen this time of year?
Yeah, I don't know. Historically I would always just stick to like a normal feeding schedule. I would just do I mainly would spoon feed. My back lawn, I would do like one application of granular and maybe a little bit of spoon feeding. So spoon feeding, if you're new to that, basically is what it sounds like. You're using a small amount of nitrogen or NPK if you're doing a complete, whatever you're using small doses. So like I usually don't go more than 0.2 pounds per 1,000 square foot. So I'm dissolving that, putting in a backpack sprayer or whatever sprayer that I use, and spraying the lawn. And you just do that out about bi-weekly as the lawn is actually growing. If your lawn's starting to stop growing, you want to stop fertilizing, because now you're just throwing material product down into the lawn and it's not absorbing, and then that's where you run into problems with just not good for the environment, runoff and all that stuff. So I generally this year I've been going a little bit heavier with my nitrogen. I did a unintentional full renovation for the front and also the back. The growings is super slow right now, so I'm just trying to feed that Kentucky bluegrass, trying to get that, just get it fed, get it moving, getting it to thicken up. I'm mowing frequently, so I'll probably be about a little over 2 pounds for fall. But I don't like the nitrogen blitzes. I think that you're just throwing down products that your lawn doesn't really need.
Well, it doesn't receive it either, right?
Right.
After a certain point, I don't know. I jumped off this whole thing. My internet's all wonky, but did you touch on like you lay it down, the plant doesn't even receive it after a certain point, right, Vince? I don't know if you've touched on that or not, but there's actually like if we want to get like super into it, there's a decent article. I think it was Wisconsin that did it on this exact topic, where it's like it kind of debunks this whole like concept of throw all of it down in the fall to a certain degree, and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, I don't know. What about you, Andrew? What do you do?
I kind of stick to my normal.
like
Well,
it
we
or
already
not?
discussed that.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think if you do it properly, if you're doing spoon feeding, you're probably fine. But I just worry that a lot of people just don't know what that means, and they're putting down full applications of nitrogen every 2 to 3 weeks versus, like I
Right.
kind of just, I do my, like if I do an overseed, which I did, I'm 4 to 6 weeks out, I'll hit it with, 7/10 of a pound of nitrogen, which I'd normally do for like a full application with granular. And then if I have another 4 weeks, maybe I'll hit it with like a half a pound later. And I might sneak in like a liquid fertilizer somewhere. So I'll probably go a little bit heavier in the fall typically, just because it's a growing season. But I don't go crazy at all. And I've been honestly kind of lazy, and I haven't applied anything since I've overseeded this year. But
Yeah.
it'll be fine. It's going to be okay. But
Cool season grass, it's resilient, right?
yeah. And, so we're talking about the growing, but how do we get at that dark green? What do you guys recommend if someone's looking for that dark green, double dark lawn? What would you put on it?
Urn.
An urn? Like
The old iron.
An urn.
an urn, ashes of
It's
somebody.
like
Okay.
ore, but but it's different.
Or
Iron, baby.
Iron, and a little nitrogen will get your lawn nice and green. There's many ways you can do this. You can, like I said, you can do the spoon feeding route. Simple Lawn Solutions has some good products. They have like their 600 that has some iron in it. They're underrated. What is it? Micro booster.
micro
The
booster.
micro booster.
That
Real
stuff
good.
has some iron in it. That
Sneaky.
I love that stuff. Love that
Sneaky,
stuff.
sneaky,
You'll see a
sneaky.
good response with that. And then they have their 2800 or 2700, depending if you're buying at Home Depot.
Good point.
That's got some quick release and slow release nitrogen in it. So that's really good for this time of year because you're getting that quick shot, but then it's also going to sustain the growth a little bit longer too. So I know that there's so many different products out there and so many different sources of iron. I will say that the best type of iron is the chelated types of iron, or the, what is it, EDTHA, or I forget what the label is, all technical stuff. It's late. But those are your best sources of iron to find is the chelated. Some of these granular fertilizers that have iron in it, your plant's actually not going to be taking that up at all. So it's just a marketing strategy. So don't be fooled. Your best bet is to use some type of liquid iron.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of these come in like hose and sprayers too. So like if you haven't made the jump to liquid, that's you can do it in kind of like the hybrid approach.
Right.
And honestly, that's what I've been doing the last couple applications. For me, it's just laziness, pure laziness.
Yeah, and a lot of these products, they might come in a hose-on sprayer, but if they don't, you can put them in one of those hose-on sprayers you can buy, those generic ones, like the Ortho dial. Yeah. So you can spray those. I mean, it's not a herbicide, anything like that. It's not like it's a liquid, fertilizer or a liquid iron. You can use those things, no problem, and they're super simple to use.
EDDHA, chelated iron. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't want to sound too smart though.
Right.
Another thing is that, your pH matters. So if your pH is off, we're starting to go down a rabbit hole now.
I just did a video on that.
Did you?
Yeah,
I can't
it's
keep
super
up with
relevant.
videos.
Because you bring up a good point, because this is a dang good time to do exactly what you're about to say. So keep going.
So soil testing, that's why you need to know about your soil pH, because you can throw down all the products that you want, but you're not going to get the response you need unless you have a good pH. But the chelated iron, it's good up to higher pHs. So if you're running a little bit alkalitic, you'll still get some color response from it.
All right. Just got brought to school. Time to get out of the classroom, Vince. Jesus.
Where?
All right. So now we have a nice dark green lawn. We got nitrogen. We got iron. It's Halloween. What do we do to showcase our lawn? Like, we got to find out where that moon's at. Where's the moon?
The shit out of it.
Real mow it and we stripe it.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what nighttime stripes are, like they slap. Like I love looking at my lawn when the light's hitting it, right? When it's pitch black.
Moon stripes.
Moon stripes. So find out, here's my recommendation. Find out, go out the night before Halloween, 2 nights before Halloween, see where the moon is located, okay? And you want to put your stripes in the direction of like the moon's behind you, put them dead straight with the moon, because just like the sun, same concept, right? If you're really lucky, you're going to have that moon directly across the street from your house, and you just put some absolute laser beams directly straight up your lawn, and everybody walking down trick-or-treating will look up your lawn and go, oh, wow. That's the dream. I get like 4 trick-or-treaters here, so I don't really care. We don't even turn our light on anymore. Our first year here, we were like geeked to trick-or-treat. We had like 200 things of candy, and we got like 3 trick-or-treaters. Found out our neighborhood's not a hot spot, so yeah.
Ours is bonkers.
Oh, I'm sure yours is. I've been there.
Flooded.
It's a little subdivision. Yeah.
A little sub.
They probably coming by the
but
probably coming by the bus loads.
Don't underestimate moon stripes. Burn them in too, because it's like the season's done. So like, you might as well triple mow that thing.
It's the last hurrah.
Who cares?
People are going to come over on Thanksgiving and it's going to be semi-checked out probably, or fully checked out, or under snow. Or if it's like last year here in Michigan, you're under snow for Halloween. But that's another story.
Oh yeah, you guys
That's right. You did have a big storm. That's
you
right.
like
canceled
lost
trick or
power and
treating.
stuff, didn't you?
Oh, they can't. I didn't have power for almost 3 days. They canceled trick or treating. Yeah, we had a huge snowstorm. We got like 2 feet of snow on Halloween, and none of the leaves had fallen off the trees, and it was like that wet, heavy snow. Like branches everywhere, trees everywhere, power lines down. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. We trick or treated the following week, like all the like cities and
makeup
towns. Yeah, it was like literally like the following like Monday or Tuesday. It was like a week later after everybody had their stuff cleaned up and power back on. That was nuts.
You know, back in '91, the Halloween blizzard.
Yeah.
Back in my day,
It was 96 for
2023.
us. We had a lot of snow.
there's a picture of me somewhere in this world, in me in the '91 Halloween, the infamous '91 Halloween blizzard of Minnesota.
I'd like to see you in your like onesie snowsuit.
Dude, you
91
there was
onesie.
just a hole in the snow, and I was in it. My dad like just dropped me into it.
There's Chris, and then there's Dad's beer in the snow right next to it.
Yes, precisely, precisely. But an underrated. So there's moon stripes. You gotta yell at kids, right? Like at least have some fun with it. Of like, get off my lawn, like Clint Eastwood style. Like you gotta like have some. It's Halloween. You can kind of like get away with it.
You can make that a full-on character. Like that is your character.
Yeah.
You sit on the front porch, and like anybody that even steps foot, like you just go after him with like a Jason mask or maybe a chainsaw or something.
You got to be careful with that because like you'll get canceled pretty quick. But like,
Don't post it.
Jason mask?
well, not like that. No, not. But, yeah,
They're
never
trespassing,
mind.
Chris.
I don't know. That's true. Great point. That's another rabbit hole. But yeah, you got to like yell at some kids. It's good for
I
them.
get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Kindly, respectfully.
We don't.
And
We
then
don't
when they
get
get
too
up
many
there-
kids here. We always turn off our lights too.
Yeah.
Antisocial over there.
We go to my sister's house across town because they have a really good trick or treating neighborhood. So we go over there, and it's just a whole family thing. It's a lot of fun, actually. So I wish
How
my
about we get back
trick-or-treaters
to
here.
grass?
Oh shit!
No, this
Oh,
is way more
yeah.
fun.
So okay,
Way more
trick or
fun.
treating's done. We got a belly full of candy. The season's winding down. Grass is
Oh,
starting to
we
check
forgot
out.
about dad taxing our kids. Got to dad tax the kids.
Yeah, I mean the bags are always on the
Obviously.
table. You just pick at them as you please. So
All right, back to grass.
okay, so
Fine,
how do we
Dad.
winterize? Winterize our lawn. Winterize our equipment. What's your guys' process? What are you about to do here in the next month?
Blow
I mean,
out
I'll
the-
still be mowing, but
yeah.
Okay, you don't count. What are you going to do in 2 months? If you say mowing, I'm
so
gonna kill you.
basically, I'll probably still be mowing. And
Dang it. Pennsylvania.
No, hey, she's gonna be 38 degrees tomorrow morning. So anyway,
I hope.
generally, I mean, I keep my lawn pretty short as well already. But if you were mowing, normal height of cut, bring it down a notch or two for the winter. I will try to get, all my batteries back inside. You don't want to leave them outside. And then I never put stable or any fuel stuff in my mowers. I'm kind of just like
You're a badass,
Hey.
dude.
throw it back.
Does your
in.
wife know you do this? Does
pull
she
it
know
out.
how like much of a badass you
yeah.
are? Shoot.
Pretty good.
I can see why she's into you now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just had
It
a kid,
all
you know.
makes sense.
I'll have a fourth after tonight.
Yeah.
All
He threw the
makes
stable in the garbage right in front of her. He goes, I ain't using that. I ain't using it, honey.
Yeah, well, the cubby's not running too good, so I think
Mm.
it couldn't hang. My Time Master, dude, I've never winterized it. I changed the oil like one time, and the thing just does not stop running. Belts, choose for belts, but everything else,
Yeah. Big belt guy.
big
Yeah.
belt guy. But then you got the classic blow out your sprinklers and all that good stuff. What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Just
Same.
wrap up. No, I like the big thing is like the battle with leaves.
Mm.
Like that's the never ending thing. And like
Good
we
thing
live in
you
a
planted
wind
more
tunnel.
trees.
What's
That's
that?
a good point.
It's a good thing you planted more trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta have more trees.
So how do you take care of your leaves, Chris? Like, did you just mulch them? You bag them?
I don't have
rake 'em?
enough. Yeah. Well, I like to mulch them because it's beneficial for your soil. However, if you have too many leaves, too many layers of leaves, or it is unbeneficial to mulch them or they're wet or something like that, then I would bag them. But I don't have that issue because I don't have like a conglomerate amount of leaves yet. I just have like baby trees. But it is annoying. I was more so talking about like it never ends.
Chris has whittle weaves for his whittle web.
Whittle.
How's your whittle web?
It hurts bad.
Yeah. Well, good thing you have whittle weaves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Got machines to help us out with that now. It's called a leaf blower, Vince.
Oh,
Got a couple of them.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you don't know what the heck Vince is talking about, I broke my rib. Oh yeah, we talked about that on the podcast the other week.
Yeah.
Still broken. Still Kirk Cousinsing.
So
do you guys have a leaf pickup?
Do I do
no.
what?
Do you have a leaf pickup?
What is that?
How do you dispose your leaves if you bag them?
Oh,
or your
toss 'em in
grass
compost.
clippings? Okay, so you have a compost bin, and those get picked up.
Put them in the garden. You don't put them in the garden?
Dude, I have way too many leaves.
If you saw how many people with real properties that have trees, like full-grown trees, not the whittled tweez. Do you want to handle the 8 oak trees that hang over my back fence?
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a big old. My whole front yard would have to be a garden in order to spread those out.
That guy on the other side of the fence hasn't chopped down all your oak trees yet.
He's working on it, but no, he hasn't. Still got acorns falling too. I hate those damn things. God bless all you people that deal with oak trees. You got my sympathy fully. No, I don't have pickup. We have I live in a township, and there's at the town hall, there's a big old gate that's always open. You can just go and dump your stuff there. You pay a fee.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're like me, you have a mother-in-law that lives on 15 acres and she lets you go there. So,
boom.
So, yep. Same concept almost. But I like to also take my mower blades off and just keep them in the garage for the off season. I think I mentioned this during a wrap up last year that I like to sharpen midwinter, little midwinter Sharpie. Little Sharpay, just do
you do it? So do you sharpen your hockey skates right at the same time? Just knock.
No, very different process. Very different process. I leave that to the professionals. I don't do that.
All right,
but I don't think an angle grinder is the right tool for that one. That's going to just really screw them up royally. And then I like to try to organize the shed and garage. Not the shed, because that just turns into like a Tetris game of how do I get all the furniture in there, kids' toys.
Yep.
But the garage, I like to try to organize. He didn't hear
my
you.
shed?
Yeah, your shed. Not good.
Filling up at the moment.
It's
Source
yeah,
up
and
there.
like I try and get rid of my mowers. And I like literally sometimes just like asking people just to take them, and no one seems to want them. I'm like, well, I don't want them either. I
is
can't
anybody
use 6
in
lawnmowers.
Central Eastern Pennsylvania that's willing to drive an hour or two to get a lawnmower? Reach out to Vince.
Yeah, we got a couple liquidation deals going on here soon. I gotta get rid of some inventory, make room for new inventory. Hopefully for 2025. But
it's a good problem.
Yeah. Sheds, man. Or it's like the never-ending battle. I feel like I just organized my garage, like getting ready for spring, and it is like so messy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on borrowed time with the weather, so I'm just like, I don't know when I'm going to do all this.
And I have huge intentions of doing things to the garage, like organization and stuff this winter. But I'm just like, I'm going to get out there and for 5 minutes, just be like, it's cold. I'm not doing this. Go back inside, watch hockey. Yeah.
Hockey, it started yesterday. We're filming this on the 9th, so it's like, yeah, dang. All right. Hockey season.
Yeah. So wrapping that up, basically, guys, if you're looking to winterize, just know that after lawn stops growing, you're gonna probably stop mowing. Keep the mower out for any leaf pickup. Mulch them, blow them, get rid of them. however you want to do it. They are beneficial for your lawn. Don't forget to blow out your sprinklers or call the landscaping company that does it for you ahead of time. That way they're not coming out late when there's snow on the ground and all that good stuff. That way you don't risk blowing the line. Bring your batteries in, change the oil, do all the mower maintenance that you want to do. Then it's a really good time. That way when spring kicks on, you can just go out there, grab your mower, and it's ready to go.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a good point about calling somebody ahead of time, because they're always pretty busy this time of year. So make sure you schedule that ahead of time. For sure.
Or do it yourself.
If you have a compressor big enough.
I have done that in knee-deep snow. Not fun.
Yeah.
with the pancake compressor. Took you 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Guys, are we doing mailbag this episode?
Yeah, we got to open that bad boy up. We got to open that up.
It's time for the Mowtime Mailbag.
Join us as we reach deep into the mailbag and answer your questions. If you would like to have a question answered on the Lawn Feed podcast, head to thelawnfeed.com and submit a question. All right, let's open it with a pair of mics. All right,
Mike.
Mike.
We got 2 mics from the Northeast, the Massachusetts and Connecticut. This first one's from Mike in Massachusetts. Water restrictions is the title. Hey guys, love the podcast. Thanks for all the in-depth info on the overseeding projects. Just curious how you would approach keeping your lawn moist after overseeding. If you live in an area with water restrictions, you pray for rain. Pray for rain.
It's a fun
rain
fact.
Dance.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know if it's like this in most places, but where I live, if you are seeding or sodding, you are exempt from most of those restrictions.
Boom.
So water the piss out of it and don't ask for ask for forgiveness later. But if you are like actually handcuffed on that, yeah, that's a tough one.
I would almost say just focus on the warmer parts of the day. You know, you're probably going to have dew for the morning and stuff. Go ahead and wait until 10, 11. Give it a nice shot of water. Wait till like 1 or 2. Give another shot of water. And you know, hopefully that's enough to, you know, tackle some dry spots with hand watering. Yeah. Use your neighbor's water. So.
Good suggestion, Vince.
Ask for donations. That's a great answer.
Yeah. Bottled water. Yeah.
Start a GoFundMe for water. Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, but I mean, it seriously, look at the local restrictions. There's usually dug in there in fine print of unless you're establishing new grass. To some degree, you can do that. That's a good question, though. I actually get that a lot in the summer. Like, what do you do when you're not seeding and there's water restrictions? That's
put some seed down. Issue. It's a asterisks and just
there
water.
You go, Andrew.
Yeah,
love it.
Summer seeding. All right, moving on to mic number 2. So this is mic number 2. He's from Connecticut. This one's directed at you, Chris.
Back on that
yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry.
So also overseeding. Buy the right seed.
Yeah.
Like, buy the right seed, high quality seed. I was just talking to my neighbor, and he literally just threw down a bunch of seed, didn't water the section on the side of his house, and it's coming in.
Right.
It's Twin City Seed Tough Turf. It just grows. So they have a lot of really good high end quality seed, and you get what you pay for. So it'll grow. Back to
Good point. Good point.
Love you, Ope.
All right, Mike from Connecticut, Twin City Blue Envy getting invaded. Hey, Ope, love the content. My all Twin City Blue Envy front yard seeded fall 2023 is being taken over by grassy weed, and I can't identify it. I mow as low as a rotary push mower will go. The bluegrass looks great. It bunches up tight and green, but when you rake it or thatch it, it ends up being 5 to 6 inches tall. and I had a long woody stem and green blades in a bunch at the tip. What is it, and how can I get rid of it? And he says he wanted to send us pictures, and he couldn't. So we can reach out to him and try to get some pictures, but I don't know.
Pictures you can always DM us, like on Instagram, if they don't go on.
That's a good point.
What is it, Opie?
Well,
what is it
without a picture, Opie?
Well, what do you think it is?
Bunches up in tight green.
His grass, his bluegrass does.
Ends up.
Yeah.
With
woody
a long
stem.
woody stem. I don't know. What would you guys think that is?
It's Pinocchio taking a nap in your grass.
You think it's Triv?
It sounds like Triv.
With a long woody stem?
Yeah. I mean, they run with Stolons, right?
Send us a picture.
Yeah.
We will get that answered for you.
In a bunch. Yeah, is it a different color green?
Triv or... If it's Triv or Poa, good luck.
Yeah, no, send us a DM. You can also email us at thelawnfeed@gmail.com, and we can try to get you some better answers with that. So the next one's from
that
Derek.
Goes for anybody too. If you, I was about to say,
Yes.
It goes for any of these questions. If you submit a question, send a DM with a picture, because it's 10 times more helpful with that. I know it says he tried, but
yeah, and just tell us I submitted a question, and here's some pictures. So we'll match them up, and we are in the process of getting a better submission form that can allow pictures. So, all right, Derek M from Mystic, Connecticut, propiconazole in the overseeding process. Hey guys, longtime podcast listener and lawn nerd here. I love it. I have tall fescue, turf type tall fescue lawn. Thanks to Twin Cities Seed, resilience is my jam. It's absolutely dominated my neighborhood in both color and thickness. Last fall, I did an overseed and followed it with the watering recommendations of 5 to 6 times a day at around 8 minutes. I found that I had some melt out and then some brown patch, and got rolling and hit it with some nitrogen. I know from previous episodes where you guys talked about disease triangle, and sometimes, especially in tall fescue, nitrogen can also light a match with brown patch. Being a science nerd, I keep a journal of everything I've done, and what I've been observing in my lawn so far this year, I got ahead of my research and discovered some out there are using a preventative application of propiconazole in their overseeding projects. The theory is that it helps prevent fungus, such as brown patch, due to the increased watering of seeding projects, and as an added bonus, it can help increase germination rates of the seedlings. I was wondering if you guys have heard of this or if there's any personal experience with it. I went ahead and applied propiconazole this year after overseeding. We'll see if it's a win or a loss.
Vince, your thoughts?
My thoughts. Definitely putting down some type of preventative fungicide while you're overseeding with all the moisture. It's great. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great idea to do it. I know there's different theories on propiconazole, whether or not it helps with germination, whether it's regulates growth a little bit, whether it speeds things up. It does inhibit some growth. So I don't know. I'd like to see where it talks about helping speed up germination.
I've heard of that. I can't back that up with anything.
I heard it too, and I couldn't
everybody says
find
it inoculates the seed. That's what I hear. Inoculates. And I did some Google searches on it, and there really wasn't much out there. So I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, you can certainly run propiconazole. You can run azoxystrobin, something like that too. Especially if you see it after you already applied a round of propiconazole. So yeah, I think you're on the right track.
Boom.
All right. Moving a little west now for Chris G in Norwalk, Iowa. Brown patch invasion.
Great name.
More fungus. Yard has gotten progressively worse the last 4 years. Looks like brown patch based on online photos. Sent off backyard soil test. Mowed to approximately 1 inch. Dethatch, aerated, screen topsoil. Helped level with the Landsea rake. Rolled some Scott's Turf Builder triple action was applied. Anderson's new starter fertilizer was applied, rolled fine compost with the Landsy roller on top, overseeded with Twin City Seed Resilience 2, rolled again. That's a lot of rolling. Watering 4 to 5 times, 5 minutes to keep it wet until germination. Got this plan after paying for the starter pack. Ooh. I sent off the soil test before I started this project. It is back now. So first he put down the winter guard 5 to 6 weeks, or should he put down the winter guard 5 to 6 weeks after? Soil test shows low on N and K and a few micronutrients. And then also beyond the bad watering habits I did last year in the summer in neighbors' shitty lawn fungus that started it all. How do I prevent the fungus? Knock the dew off with the rake in the morning. I thought that wouldn't hurt, but there's more. Hoping the seed with drastically improve my thickness of the turf and disease preventage. Just not sure what to use and to continual program in my yard. I know it's just a lot like the others. You three need to, we'll skip that part. So yeah,
he's giving his phone number in that one. Don't give that.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like,
8675309.
Yeah. So what's the real question here? What can we take from this?
So should he put down winter guard after seeding? That's the first question.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like he already put down a good amount of fertilizer. So one, calculate how much that you actually put down.
Did he double do the starter fertilizer?
Yeah. So you're looking you probably already put down over a pound or so.
Mm-hmm.
Might be good. This would be a great opportunity for some liquid, if you want to, for just like that in between, or just a little food before winter, and let the slow release, the granular do its thing. If your soil test showing you have low nitrogen, ignore it. That's fine.
Yeah.
No one really measures nitrogen on soil tests anyway, or looks at it. You're already going to be planning on providing you're already going to be planning on 3 to 4 pounds of nitrogen for that year, most likely, per, that's mainly what most people do. But for the potassium, you certainly can be replacing that. So again, look at what you put down already. Yard Mastery has a free app that you download their app, and it has a lawn fertilizer calculator that makes it pretty simple for you, if you don't want to do the math. And the soil test, depending on what you got, should also give you a recommendation of how many pounds of K you need to get it repleted. So you don't have to do it all in one shot. We can get into the other thing of, does high potassium in fall cause winter diseases? Some people say it does. So again, you don't have to go balls to the wall with it. Looks like you already put down quite a bit of NPK, so your lawn's going to be fed and repleted as it needs to be for right now. What else?
Beyond
disease.
Beyond bad watering, how do we prevent fungus? All of that fun stuff.
Oh, knock the dew off.
We kind of.
So
you knock the dew off.
But you could also, if your irrigation's still going, if the irrigation's still going, you can do that quick little 2 minutes a zone at like 4 a.m. Knock the dew off with your irrigation system. You're not really watering the grass or the soil. It's more so just knocking the dew off. Just enough for the sprinkler to go around.
Satisfying watering.
Yeah. And just watch that dew go. So that's another way to do it.
Some of the most satisfying watering. Like when I go out in the mornings and I see my irrigating just like slowly going across the lawn, and it's just taking the dew off, and you can see exactly where the sprinkler are hitting. It's so satisfying.
I'm sure.
Is that much of an issue right now in the fall?
Dew?
Well,
I know dew is there, but I'm talking
the
like
dew is bad. Yeah.
Yes, dew is there.
Fungus, not so much, but
But
if you're overwatering.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting like random heat stretches, but I mean,
but the humidity's gone for the most part, though.
That's abnormal. Yeah. So it's more of like a midsummer thing,
right? And before we move on, Chris, like what we were talking about with you applied a lot of fertilizer already. According to what you wrote, you applied the Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, which is a fertilizer, and also the Anderson's new lawn starter. So you applied basically 2 starter fertilizers, I think, according to what we're reading here. So based on that, that's kind of why we're saying maybe pump the brakes on some of the other stuff later in the season, because you got plenty down. So just be mindful of that next time you do a seeding project. Moving on to the last one here. This is going to be Bobby J from El Dorado Hills, California. And it says, new lawn. Just seeded a lawn renovation and got blades coming up nicely. However, in sections, it's lifting part of the topsoil rather than growing through it. Is this normal? Should I remove the soil and for sun exposure? Or is that an area with too much seed? Thanks. I've seen this. It's a real thing. You guys know what he's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
roll it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sod farms, they deal with this a lot. And they just go back out and they roll it down before it's too late, so they don't run away like tumbleweeds.
Yep. It's sometimes the soil can kind of stick together, and I've seen it more when I use like peat moss, because peat moss likes to kind of like stay together, and so when the grass tries to grow through it, it kind of like pushes it up, and so if you kind of just lightly break up that peat moss, that will do the trick too. Just make sure that you're not too rough with it, but you could probably just roll it back down and it'll pop through as well. But completely normal thing. Wouldn't be too concerned about it. And that's it for the mailbag.
The more you know. Well, that's cool. Well, thanks for sending in all the questions, guys. That's super cool. From all over the place too. Out east, out west, Midwest. No Anchorage though. No Alaska.
No Canadians.
No UK. No England. All good. It's all good. Send us your
there.
stuff. Go to the lawnfeed.com. I think that's our website, right? And go to the mailbag and submit us a mailbag question of whatever you got. Doesn't even have to be lawn related. We just like hearing from you guys. Before we wrap, go check out, like I just said, the lawnfeed.com for some amazing lawn gear to elevate your set of lawn gear and apparel. Shirts, sweatshirts, more, all of it. You can use promo code BRAD15 for checkout for 15%, 15% off of your entire order. Go do it. Do it.
And while you're doing that, why don't you head over to Ope's website and take a look at the new t-shirts he has out right now. Also, all the swag that he has out right now, because 100% of the profits are going right to Metaviver. Chris, a little blip about what Metaviver is?
Yeah, so I appreciate that, man. Metaviver is the only organization in the U.S. That is giving and funding 100% of their funding straight to metastatic breast cancer or stage 4 breast cancer. And that's important because only 2% of the 2 to 5% of the overall funding for breast cancer and breast cancer awareness is going to metastatic breast cancer, which is ultimately what is unfortunately killing 98% of the breast cancer cases. So that's my cause. That's the reason we're doing it. I've got my story posted on my website. Go check that out. I appreciate you bringing that up, Vince.
Actually, if you don't like his shirts, which they're cool, you should. If you don't like his shirts and you like ours better, we're gonna donate our profits as well. So just tell everybody.
Boom.
Just go on a Christmas shopping spree and get some swag for you.
And you.
And for you.
And one for the missus.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. That's cool. That's sweet. But let's make a difference while we're elevating our lawn apparel. And if you don't like lawn apparel, that's everything in my store. It's everything in our store. Go check it out.
That's it's Mowtime.com, thelawnfeed.com.
All of the
it's Mowtime.
Don't forget the wwws. Those are important, it turns out.
I would hope Google would land you there, but yeah.
Yeah, the Google. But on behalf of the entire Lawn Feed crew, you guys, thank you for joining us on another great episode. And stay safe out there, especially on Halloween. Good luck on this week's venture of parenthood, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Adios.